Heraclitus? Of Ephesus.
Now Christine is going to give a little talk also.
Thanks for reminding me. I was sitting back there. Good morning, my name is Christina, and I am a member of this congregation, and I stepped forward and told Charlotte that if she needed somebody to talk about pledging season and pledging to the church, that I would be happy to do so. And she said, oh yes, that would be great. So here I am. Good morning. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you in this community that we build together. Today I want to talk for a moment about why pledging to the Big Sky Unitarian Universalist Fellowship is so deeply important, and how in doing so each of us makes an impact that goes beyond what we might imagine that we can do alone. When I look around this room, I see more than just faces. I see friends, family, although my mother didn't make it today. She said it snowed in Butte, so I'm not sure. Mentors and community. I see people of all ages who come together each week to share, to grow, to laugh, sometimes to ask hard questions, and sometimes just to sit in silence together. Each of us has a unique role in this community, but all of us share one purpose: to create a place where we can explore what it means to move through life with love at the core of who we are. We connect with others in meaningful ways, and we seek justice in this world. Pledging is an essential part of making this community thrive. Our pledge goes directly toward keeping our doors open, maintaining a space where we can gather, and sustaining the programs that make us who we are, from worship services to social action initiatives, from children's religious education to adult discussion groups. Every contribution, no matter the size, is a promise to our shared vision, a statement that this community matters. But beyond dollars and cents, my pledge is a way of saying that I believe in this fellowship and what it stands for. I believe that everyone deserves a place where they are welcomed just as they are, where I am welcomed just as I am, where I am encouraged to seek my own truth, where I am supported in times of joy and sorrow. And in a world that can sometimes feel so divided, it's wonderful to know that I am part of something that builds connections, that reaches out, and that listens. When you pledge to Big Sky, you're not just supporting the present. You're investing in our future. You're helping us grow in ways we can only dream of. You're making it possible for us to welcome new members, create new programs, and broaden our community. Every year we make this commitment together as we dream about what our near future can look and feel like. So today, I invite each of you to pledge in whatever way you can. Think of it as an act of hope, of generosity, and of love for this community and everyone in it. Together, our contributions are the foundation of something truly, a place where every one of us and those yet to come need to be nurtured and inspired. Thank you.
Okay, see, could you bring, is Mara here too? Okay, well, could you bring a friend with you, please? Would one of your friends like to help? Thank you. This is time for our offertory, and thank you for your gifts this day and for all the gifts of action this community possible. If you're visiting, please remain our guest. Your presence is your gift to us. Each take one side. have to say it's so good to see all your faces. I've missed you all this summer. Okay. Do we have any children that might want to come up for the children's story, or the message for all ages, as we call it? Well, if not, you're all going to get the message. Okay. Stand here and you can hear me. First of all, the whole topic has been, oh, hi there. Oh, we got a, hello? Okay. Hold this for me. Okay. He, him. Excuse me. Okay, I'll hand this, well, I guess I should hold it too, and I'm going to have you open the book for everybody to see. Would that be okay? And I've forgotten your name. I've forgotten your name.
Finch.
Say it again.
Finch.
Finch. Okay. This whole topic has had me dithering and couldn't make up my mind this way and couldn't make up my mind that way. And for me, when I can't make up my mind, it's a symptom that I'm really lacking in confidence. So I'm glad to see your familiar faces because you'll help me get through this. But the book I put in the bulletin is not the book I'm going to read. Because I've been dithering, dither, you know, and a fan is going to help me here. They're both great girls morning and decides to make a fresh start and everything. And that's one of the first way we make change, or make changes in ourselves. But this other one is called Change, and it's by Amanda Gorman, whom you may remember as from the last inauguration. Okay. Yep, good. Thank you. I can hear change humming in its loudest, proudest song. I don't fear change coming, and so I sing along. I scream with the skies of red and blue streamers. Isn't that appropriate for this week? I dream with the cries of tried and true dreamers. I did it. Okay. It's an art leaning upside down. Okay. I'm a chant that rises and rings. There is hope where my change sings. And here, a trombone, excuse me, it's not a trombone, baritone, is helping her pick up garbage. Okay. I don't understand it. Windmills of mystery, and it is. We're dealing with a lot of mystery today. I sing with all the planet in its hills of histories. Okay. I hum with 100 hearts, lifting a hand. I use my strength and my smarts. I take a knee to make a stand. You probably remember some of the news 2 years ago when football players were taking a knee. I'm bright as the light each day brings. There's love where my change sings. There's tolerance, though it might take some courage. I taller fence, but fight to build a better bridge. I talk not only of distances from where and how. Okay. I also walk our differences so we're all the same. I'm a movement that roars and springs. There's a wave where my change sings. Change sings where? There inside me. I'm the change I want to see. As I grow, it grows like seeds. I am just what the world needs. Voice where freedom rings. You're the love your bright heart brings. We are the waves starting to sing. We are the change we sing. We're what the world needs, and we know it won't be long. We all hear change strumming. Won't you sing along? Thank you. Thank you, Finch. Appreciate it. Transformation, the Big Sky UU talk. Today's topic is one of our UU shared value petals. Now I put the graphic on here, and you see the various shared values, and we're going to be talking about them the first day of every month. And the mnemonic to remember what they are is Jet Pig. Okay. Jet Pig. Justice, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Okay. Okay. I did. You both came out. Okay. But my. Okay, I'll try to talk. I'm trying. Okay. 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 I'm here to provide you with some prompts to start our community discussion on transformation, aka change, and think of it, aka growth. I'm choosing to stick with the personal aspects of transformation because that's my lens. Please feel free to choose how wide your own lens for discussion on transformation will be. Okay, personal transformation. Well, wait a second, stop. Some of you may say, there's nothing wrong with me as I am right now. I am who I am. I agree. But I believe we are growing throughout our lives, and though it's not always obvious, we can grow to be better people. I think that you, this pedal, agree that we can evolve, even in these short lifetimes, to grow and transform. You agree that this is not easy. Quote, the nature of life is to change, and the nature of people is to resist change. I'm there myself, I understand that. Most of us have matured to the point we do realize it's useless to expect anyone else to transform themselves for our benefit. Thanks to 100 self-help groups and hours of therapy, we know that we can only change ourselves and not others. I find this a difficult and serious topic to simplify, so I'm going to talk about bubble transformations, rock transformations, and okay? Have patience with me. So it's time to get your bubbles out, and let's just give it a shot with our bubbles. I love bubbles. Love, love. Come on. We should be able to get a lot of them out. I can't get these to make a big one. They're all tiny. Boy, there's a whole bunch that comes out. Okay, so what am I talking about when I talk about bubble transformation? I'm talking about how they form instantly and they're gone instantly. Here they are. Soap, then breath, then a beautiful reflecting orb, and then pop, they're gone. All of us have had experiences in our lives like this. One moment, a loved one is alive, and then pop, they're gone. Or our company downsizes, and in one day, pop, we find ourselves without a job. It's our homes 500 miles inland, and pop, we have no more home. In my case, my dog pulls me over, and pop, I'm instantly an old lady. We have little control over the bubble transformations that happen to all of us. These broken bubbles precipitate transformations that may last your lifetime. My prayer is that our spirits are not broken, but stronger from these instant transformations. Another type of transformation is so glacial, we don't realize it's happening. And try to imagine it in a different shape. We accept it as it is. To change it, we'd have to use a hammer or a rock tower or a... Many human endeavors, such as wars, famine, governments, move as slowly as rocks to change. Ethically, over the eons, our views have also changed. 10,000 years ago, or even 100 years ago, people saw murder, genocide, individual rights, etc., differently than we do now. Until this year, a number of books were saying we have less wars and less hungry people today. Well, right now, I think 2 steps forward, 1 step back. On the individual level, some of my steps are so glacial that they're not going to happen in my life. Every week for the past 20 years, I have vowed to lose weight. That's glacial. It's not going to happen. Okay. The third type that I'm going to talk about are Play-Doh transformations. Now, this is where we have some control. Okay, try it now. Let's take a minute to play with your... Okay? See if you can get anything out of it. A boat, a person, an umbrella, a cradle. What does your mind, your heart want to make? Okay, this transformation isn't just blowing bubbles, but we're still something in our hands an hour from now. It may look the same, it may look better, probably won't look any worse. And in this case, in our Play-Doh transformations, we are very much in control. Speaking of my own Play-Doh transformation, I do feel I've matured. I have transformed in many good ways from the 20-year-old I once was. I see the viewpoints of others so much more clear. I'm better off. I have a more emotional control and self-assurance. I like to think I'm kinder. Visible to me is the extremely shy young woman to someone who can disagree with others and present her own viewpoint. A woman who has... I can give ranger talks to folks from all over the world. Stand up here today before you, even though I did think about getting sick. Okay. I'm miles ahead of where I was. I'm never going to be a Kamala or a Hillary. Made progress. you can see ways you have transformed from who you once were. Interestingly, transformation comes with loss. In this case, I missed the agreeable, doesn't make waves, good girl image I had of myself. I think men in particular like that version of me. Now, whenever I disagree with a man the day after I have, part of me is gratified with my new role, but I can also hear my mother in my head say, "And just who do you think you are to talk that way?" My little girl says, "Ouch." To quote Lori Gottlieb, "A decision to be made as to whether to evade pain or to tolerate it and therefore moderate it." Growth come with pain. Or maybe we use them, if we can, to change our pain. Maybe you can think of ways you're growing that come with loss. So how does personal transformation begin? Much of it happens in unity through the help of those we have around us. I credit Judy Fiel with helping me find my voice. Being in her women's crowd and my opinions. Truly, she helped me to find my words, get a divorce, and stand on my own 2 feet. A community of spiritual people is one of the reasons I took my kids to church when they were younger. I wanted them to be around spiritual and kind people, people who model risks and not being afraid to be who they are. It's one of the reasons I by UU. Here, I'm around people who care and who are trying to be a better version of themselves. Most of us are not trying to reinvent ourselves. We're trying to edit ourselves into a better variation. You mold the clay in your hands into a different form, but it's still the same weight, the same color, the same density. But it just might be more interesting after you've played with it. Personal relationships help. Are open, can trust, and choose friends more than, quote, idiot compassion. You hear this in the psychological books nowadays, idiot compassion. For example, idiot compassion might be, "Oh yes, I agree, it's time to find a way to extract revenge on your neighbor. Let's go turn over their garbage." Or, "Oh, your husband really is a smarmy creep, even though he's just..." These kind of idiot compassion typing of friends are not giving you answers to help you grow. We need to pay attention and choose friends with wise compassion. Other steps to change involve self-awareness. Prescott was a scientist who studied the steps into Plato's transformation, only he didn't call it Plato. First, pre-contemplation. I thought it's an interesting idea. Stage for many things for years. Preparation is third, action is 4, fifth is maintenance. My sense of how I want to change is not as clear as he prescribes, but I think I kind of get it. Example. 1, pre-contemplation. I'm avoiding a friend because I think she purposely hurt me. I go through some obsessive thoughts about how mean she is and how I am the victim. 2, contemplation. I've had a good night's sleep, a good breakfast, and some exercise. I then start to wonder about her side of the story. And the key here is the word wonder, I think. We wonder what the other person's thinking, what the other person's motivation is. So 3, preparation. I begin to think about how I'm up with her. 4 is action. I call her up and we go and talk. 5 is maintenance. The next time I feel someone was mean to me, I move quickly to step 2. Therapists are good with this type of transformation. Okay. Now I'm going to end with the hard part. Let me read the UU official description of transformation. Quote, "We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform to grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritage. Never complete and never perfect." Some of you may not see this as hard, but in this time in our history, we adapt to the changing world. It feels like the world is radically bursting so many of my bubbles. My bubbles might be my hopes for peace, my trust in my faith that the majority of countries are working towards democracy and peace, my faith in my nation's people as good and kind and well-meaning. When I watch too much news, I don't feel particularly open to any perceived changes. In fact, I'm wondering, are they real changes, or am I just discouraged in the moment? Think about how I can make Play-Doh transformations and how I react to the larger changes in my world. What small readjustments can I make to help me adapt to the changing world? And that's what we're going to discuss today. Transformations in your life, transformations in the world. You get to choose what you're going to talk about. Okay, let me read the rules. The rules, okay. I should say Unitarians, we don't have rules, right? Okay, these are suggestions. Okay. All present covenant to, this is at my bulletin. Honor the safety of the group by listening to others with an open heart. Refrain from cross-talk, judgment, or giving advice. So we're listeners, basically. We're not there to respond. We're there to listen. Hear as deeply as I can when it's my turn. And afterwards, not to gossip about what is shared in the group, and tell only my story to others. Okay, so because we have more time, we're going to have 4 rounds of sharing, and each round, one person speaks at a time. The job of others is to listen deeply. The speaker in the heart as deeply as they're willing. So, and if you want to, you don't have to answer. This is not the day where you're going to talk. For each round, each person has 1 to 2 minutes to share. A person may choose to pass, not to speak. Okay, now I've got questions here, the personal ones and the more bigger ones. Question 1, when has your life been instantly transformed? That's one of the bubble transformations. What transformations have felt glacial to you? That's the rock. What transformations have you seen in yourself? And what transformations are you working on? So that's a personal. And then here on the other page, oh, you don't have the other page, I am. What do you see as changes in our culture? How real are they? How open are you? 2, what can we do as individuals to transform these changes? 3, what can we do as a community to transform spiritually to meet these changes? We adapt to the changing world. So we're going to number off in 7 groups, and I'd like each a note taker. That's what I forgot, paper and pencil. I'll go try to find paper and pencil. Oh, the back of the Hymn of Promise inside your insert. There's 1 pen. I had 1 pen here. Oh, they're in the front, in the rows. Yes, it solves all the problems. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to count off, and we can have like a group here, group there, group back. Somebody can go to the fireside. There's a nice cozy place there. Somebody can get around the tables in the fireside. Okay. So you ready? Any questions before we count off? Okay, we're going to count to 7. Okay? 1. Catherine? 2, 3. 4. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when we're done in 20 minutes, I'll call you back and we're going to share, and then we'll have another hymn, and then we'll have our closing. Okay, who all are the 7s? I'm a 7. Okay, wanna come over here in this corner?
Ones could meet up here.
finish up and get back together.
Judy was very good about not listening to crosstalk. That allowed us to.
How many? Who is in group one that would like to make a few comments? Liz from my group, so yes, Cheryl?
There was only 3 of us, but we did a great job of talking about stuff. So one of the things for the change, sometimes it's events that happen in our life, like birth of a child or career change, that something that creates a little bit more dramatic change. Glacier changes, I'm using your words because I like them. Cultural change, the changes in the earth, other people and relationships, sometimes those changes seem to go really solo. And then personal, felt an increase in self-awareness and empathy, being able to see other people and maybe a willingness to see what other people are experiencing, sometimes from what we do. And that there's more look at the big and the little picture and be open to more things. Personal transformations were physical transformations, your body and your activity level. And then that affects other parts of our lives, like it increases gratitude, it might, we might continue to grow emotionally. A little bit more on self-awareness. Globally, we focused a little bit more on how fast change is happening. Like within 20 years, there was same-sex marriage and couple of us went, how did that happen? So I know it was a long time, but quickly. And then the other one that's happening quickly that we talked about was the climate. Sure, the Earth has been through these things before, never in such a short period of time. So in a big level, sometimes human beings don't, change comes so rapidly because just of our genetics and our way of thinking. So that's what we talked about.
Thank you. Number 2?
Shiloh and Mary had to leave, so see if I can read Shiloh's notes. These are going to sound somewhat similar, but our bubble transformations involved a major accident, becoming a parent, unemployment, and then again an illness related to becoming a mother. So sort of big things that had changed us quickly. The glacial transformations were taking away from evolving in careers, understanding and connection of others. Shiloh talked about just his work as a lawyer in climate change and how glacial that seems, and becoming more self-aware with new diagnoses, new medical diagnoses. The transformation of the self, seeing and recognizing difference, uniqueness in others, control over your own memory and how your own revisioning of yourself and your history. Can't read that. And then I guess this kind of blended 3 and 4 together, but the things we're working on, becoming more, again, back to the self-care, we talked about that a fair bit, and just the need to prioritize ourselves sometimes over all the different things pulling us in different directions, becoming more accepting of ourselves, less of a perfectionist, and working on kind of centering meditation, yoga, and then figuring out who we are in retirement and kind of the next steps in our lives.
Thanks, Jessica. Group 3? Is that 3? No.
I have the notes, so I probably should go. I don't know. I'm not sure how we were supposed to say what we had discussed. We talked a lot about judgment. It came up in kind of all of the first 4 that we talked about. Yourself or judgment of others, and how trying to overcome judgmental is very time-consuming sort of thing that we all kind of recognize that we're working through, and also relationships with work, and I guess bubble changes are very similar to the ones that other people have talked about. And then we concluded talking about transformation in culture and the rapidity of change and technology and climate change, and but kind of ended on a positive note that we feel like, even though a lot has happened quickly, can seem overwhelming, we felt very grateful about the material comforts that we have and how it is actually possible for many people to have them, and that's a great, and for people to be able to really be themselves. Those are transformations we felt grateful for.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
Okay, group 4. I'll just kind of list because I don't think we concluded. We're trying not to cross-talk, so we just kind of talked from ourselves. Instant transformations came from the COVID pandemic, falling and breaking limbs. having a child, when other people make important decisions that affect you, and becoming lovers with a woman. Transformations that have felt glacial, an African-American family coming into a social group, learning to listen to folks with completely different opinions, learning to grow old by myself with grace, building friendships, learning to forgive myself as I grow old. Transformation of self, shyness, fear of speaking, and confidence interacting with others. Transformation from the cultural, political upbringing of my childhood. Smoking pot, bringing the realization that there's a whole lot more out there than I thought. Doubting myself more than I used to. It's not lack of confidence, it's more like not needing to solve the problem immediately, making space for different possibilities. And what transformations we're working on included regaining a sense of confidence and not getting caught up with how bleep up the world is. Health challenge, emotionally, physically, energetically, having those hours diminish. Becoming more disciplined in caring for my body. Retirement is so that you can manage your body. Living with limitations of choice. And changing roles in the lives of my children. And reigniting interests. Wouldn't really mind dying.
Thanks, Judy. Who's next? Yeah.
Well, we kind of worked through the quickly. We didn't. So for number one, the double one, I guess, one was being an only child and had everything, and then suddenly a brother arrives. That's difficult to learn. Not that you're not the center anymore. Having a baby. When I met my dad at several years old, that was something new after he came back from the Korean War. When I made a choice to move out west and make it my home. When my dad died, then my mom died. I could sleep at night. A big transformation because I didn't have the same responsibility. And for number two, I'd like to be less judgmental. We talked about that as well. Others, just from first glance, perhaps, working on trying to change that. Sometimes not making progress. Work on my mental health. That's a day-to-day event. Trying to work on that every day. Have to take it, minute by minute. Social. We talked a lot about social, and there's been progress, but then it seems like we take 2 steps forward and then maybe 12 steps back sometimes in the progress. Not so much, but in people's perception and reaction. And we're astounded at some of the opinions that people express now that seem to be released in the last few years. Climate change, we're making glacial progress on climate change. We are aware of it, but it's hard for us to make decisions or how to move forward, gain consensus on that. For number 3 and 4 mixed together, one change is personal transformation is not having so many walls up, taking more risks, learning to be more open about things, working on slowing down and letting go, not charge into action so quickly and interfere with others. Transformation from high school to college, that was a big transformation. like, and I'm sure many of us, you know, going from being kind of a nerd to really outgoing and participating in more and athletics and things and being exposed to more diversity. Working to find a mission, that's something that's somebody's working on and transforming themselves. So what is the cause? Looking for a cause to go move forward. And and I guess we just talked about some of the social transformations and having yard signs out and bumper stickers, and that we should feel free to have them out. If they get us to shut up, then they've won, basically.
Thanks, Sarah. Number 6. We have a 6. Well, our time is coming to an end, but anybody in 6 want to say anything? Okay. You know, on the first Sunday, things go longer than normal. And that's going to happen next 5 Sundays, 5 first Sundays. Okay. And all the 5 first Sundays are smaller groups. Oh, I had a group, pretty much what everybody else said, but there were a couple things that was interesting. One of the pops was when somebody came here and boom, they realized that the UU, they had their tribe. An important thing for them. Another one was a person said that when they were a teenager, one person asked them a question that changed their lives. One simple thing, and that it changed the direction their life went into. We're meeting challengers are stronger than we thought. I thought that was a good one. There's so many of them. We talked about a little bit about feelings of helplessness, too much information without wisdom. People going shopping for their conclusions, and how we can connect the dots different ways. Like all the dots are there, and somebody sees a bunny rabbit, but somebody else sees a dumpster fire. Okay. One of the contradictions of this transformation thing is that we adapt to changes. We adapt to the changing world, but that doesn't mean we change our principles or our integrity, our morals. There's common things that we don't want to change that are integral to who we are and who we are as UUs, okay? And I'm going to stop right there. There's a lot going on. But now we're going to have our closing hymn, which is in this one, page 1028. And I don't know if we've ever sung it before. Thank you to everybody who shared from their heart. It was really nice to see that. 1028. Thank you, Judy. Okay, together we say. Okay, somebody have announcements or joys and concerns? Yes.
We had a wonderful trip to Oregon and California, and I'm grateful for it. I saw friends from my lifetime that I love so much. And we arrived home safely. There were no car accidents.
Yay. Yes.
I have a joy. So last night we had some vandals come and steal all of our yard signs and steal all of the yard signs in Henson Haven and things, and we call the police and we make a report and we think, well, okay, that's the end of that, we'll never see them again. This morning a sergeant came and gave all of our yard signs back, and he has like 55 of them and he's handing them all out. Anyway, so it was some 16-year-olds who were just whatever, and the only reason they found them is because they got in a car wreck and the whole back of their car was filled with yard signs. So anyway, if you're missing yard signs, Helena PD has them. It's because they have a whole carload they're trying to find where they go to. So.
Summer?
I have a joy that I was in a draining relationship, and now I'm doing some me time this weekend. And for the first time ever, I got my nails done, and I did them at home, and I got them done. And then later today, I'm going to dye my hair. I'm going to take care of me. And it's been a first time since a while. In a while.
Yes. Thank you, Summer. Anybody else? Okay, I think we can get together for our circle now. We'll do